Hey Gemini, welcome to Intuitive Gems. My name is Desiree and I will be doing your money, wealth, finance, prosperity, abundance reading for the month of June 2020. Before we get started, I wanted to let you guys know that I have actually decided to work with a new tarot deck, and I partnered with the creator of this particular deck. It's called the Original Tarot, and it's new to me. I'm going to have a link for you down below in the description in case you're interested in learning more about this deck. But I have been working with this deck for the past month. I feel very connected to it. It's a very high quality deck. It's got a linen finish. The images are very vibrant, very colorful, and I feel very excited and very honored to be sharing this particular deck with you for the June readings. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And like I said, I just wanted to let you guys know that this is called the Original Tarot deck. Again, I will have a link in the description in case you're interested in picking up this deck for yourself. For clarifiers, I will use my Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot deck as I always do. And then Gemini, I'm going to close out your reading with a Spirit Animal Oracle card. One of my favorite oracle decks to work with. I haven't worked with it in a while, and so I felt really drawn to use that particular deck for the June readings. And I also want to say thank you all so much for your kind words and for all your love and your positive energy. My sweet little dog, Bentley, passed away on May 1st. And she was 14 years old. She had I think it's called congenital heart failure. She had a lot of heart issues, and so it was causing her to have seizures and breathing problems, and I did everything I could, and it was just time to peacefully let her go. But I do want to say thank you all for your positive messages. It was very comforting when I was going through that time. So, I thought a card flipped over. Maybe not. But let's go ahead and get into your reading, Gemini. Now, if this is your first time catching one of my videos, I do want to say welcome. And I invite you to subscribe because I do these readings each and every month. And I would love to share your money message with you. You will also notice that sometimes as I shuffle the deck, cards will literally fly out, and or sometimes cards will flip over or they'll scoot their way out the deck. Those are the cards that I choose to read because I do believe they have something specific they're trying to communicate. So I acknowledge that. So I do read jumper cards. All right, Gemini. So what do we need to know for the sign of Gemini as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of June 2020? What do we need to know for the sign of Gemini? Okay. I feel like I need one more card for Gemini, please, to go ahead and get started. All right. Oops, we got some of these cut off here. So Gemini, I can see you're going through a lot of transition as we move into the month of June. You've made some decisions, and so now you're kind of picking up some momentum as it relates to money, finances, work, career. However, things are still not quite moving as quickly as you would like them to. But that's okay, because as we move into June, you're going to be getting a lot of support. You're going to be getting a lot of people kind of reaching out. And I say that because I see this Lover's card. And I also see, too, as I'm looking at this first row of cards here, Gemini, you're still going to feel like things are a little bit up in the air. Now, this can work out for you because it means that any decisions that you're making or thinking about, you still have some time, especially as it relates to your money. But you also have the freedom to kind of go a different direction. And I say that because I see the Hangman here. We also have the Fool in the reverse. So we have Fool reverse, Five of Pentacles upright, Eight of Swords reverse, Lovers upright, Three of Cups reverse, Hangman reverse. So like I said, you're going to be moving into June with some things still maybe kind of unresolved. You're still going to have some things that are kind of maybe either on pause, on hold. Things could also be maybe moving in a direction that you were not anticipating, or it could be that maybe you've made a decision and now that things are starting to kind of things are starting to happen, you're seeing, oh, maybe I might want to change my mind on some things. And I say that because the Hangman is in the reverse. So I say all this to say is that as we move into June, realize that some of your decisions and some of your perceptions about how things are going as it relates to your money and to your work may shift, may kind of evolve into something different than what you had anticipated or what you had expected. But now this is a good thing, like I said, because it allows you the freedom and the time to course correct as necessary. And it also means that you're not locked into any decisions you may have made before now. So you kind of have this flexibility and you kind of have this freedom to kind of either stay on the course that you're on or maybe make some adjustments. And this could actually be something that helps you because you're kind of eliminating some hesitation, some doubt, maybe some limitations that are starting to show up, or maybe some blockages that you may have been dealing with, but now they're starting to fall away. And I say that because I see this Eight of Swords here in the reverse. This means that there was something that you felt you were limited by, but now as time is progressing, you're seeing, okay, maybe that's not a problem after all. Maybe that's not going to be an issue for me in the short or long term. And like I said, you're going to be getting some support from people around you. Now, this could be something in the professional aspect, but it could also be something in your personal life. The Lover's card is all about things coming together in a beautiful way. It also is about divine connections. It's also sometimes just having that emotional support or having that emotional connection with someone or something that turns out to be very, very positive. So just know, Gemini, that regardless of how things seem to be flowing, just know that you're going to have support to get through it, and you're also going to have freedom and flexibility to either do something different or take your time and see how things kind of unfold on their own. So what else do we need to know for the sign of Gemini as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of June 2020? What do we need to know for the sign of Gemini? Okay, Gemini. Now, we have the Knight of Wands upright, Page of Cups reverse, Hermit reverse, Four of Wands upright, and then we have the Ace of Cups in the reverse. So I can tell you that there is going to be some type of, either there's a message that's going to be affect you emotionally. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean like it's going to be something that upsets you, but there could be a message coming through as it relates to your money that's going to have an emotional impact on you in some way. And I say that because we have the Page of Cups and we have the Ace of Cups here in the reverse position. Page of Cups is a message, some type of announcement, news, information is coming your way, but there's going to be an emotional trigger to it. And this doesn't necessarily mean that it's something, bad or something devastating, but it is something that kind of really hits you in the heart. It's something that really kind of rocks your soul. And, this could be something where you're just moved to either kind of do something because you're emotionally attached to it, or it could be, maybe there's a relationship there, there's personal feelings involved. And so it may kind of influence your decisions, especially as it relates to your work and to your money. Now, the Knight of Wands here, this tells me that things are going to start picking up as it relates to your work. The Knight of Wands is all about movement. It's about things coming in and things kind of shifting rather quickly. Also, things are also going to kind of move and just kind of the word fluid keeps coming to me. It means things are just, they're moving, things are shifting, things are changing, things are manipulating, things are starting to kind of take shape, take hold. Now, this is good because there's some things that probably were dragging as it relates to work and your finances. Just know that things are going to start shifting and start moving and start kind of rolling forward as we move into that second week of June. Now, we also have the Hermit here. The Hermit in reverse talks about you kind of coming out of that hermit mode. You really choosing to show up for yourself, and be consistent, to really kind of be proactive as it relates to your work. Now, this could be related to job search, or it could be related to you kind of being more active in your own progress as it relates to your career. Maybe you start doing more things online, so you are seen. Maybe you start sending out your resume twice as much, so you are connecting with the people who can hire you or people who make decisions. It could also be that you're just really deciding to kind of stop playing small, and you're making the conscious choice to really do more and be more so you can have more. Now, we also have this Four of Wands here. This is a very positive and a very good card. This is the marriage card in a lot of cases, especially as we talk about relationships. And I find it interesting that this Four of Wands fell onto the Lover's card. Now, there could be a literal marriage happening for you. This is the month of June we're talking about. That is the month of weddings and celebrations. But it could also mean, too, that there's a foundation that's starting to build, that's starting to really kind of come together for you. It could, be something as it relates to your work or to your business where, the groundwork is being laid and things are starting to come together so you can, literally build a future, either with a partner. It could also be like a business partner, or it could just be something that you're working on your own. But just know that the foundation is being set in place, that things are going to start growing, and that things are going to really come together for you. You're going to start seeing and feeling that in that second week of June, Gemini. And we already talked about the Ace of Cups. Again, this is something of a emotional nature that could either be put on hold, or it could be maybe just not starting in the way that you thought that it would. Now, because we're focusing on work, money, finances, I'm feeling like there was probably a project or a job or something that you had anticipated, but for some reason or another, either something is on hold, or something is just not happening, or something is just kind of just not progressing in the way you thought that it would. Things probably just aren't. It's one of those things where it sounded good. Maybe things sounded good at first, but then as time went on, you're realizing, oh, I don't know if this is exactly what I want, or I don't know if this is who I really want to work with. Now, that's not to say that the situation is bad, but it could just not be a match for you, Gemini. But let's go ahead and get some more clarity on this. So what else do we need to know for the sign of Gemini as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance? For the month of June 2020, what do we need to know for the sign of Gemini? interesting. We've got some repeaters here, Gemini. There's definitely something going on with you as far as a connection, a divine connection, Gemini. We have the Lover's card. Remember, we saw that card here. And then we also have the Four of Wands. We saw that card here. So, if there is some type of a marriage or something going on, congratulations. If not, like I said, there is going to be some type of coming together, some type of foundation being set in place for you as it relates to work or as it relates to your money. Now we also have the Page of Swords here upright, Four of Wands reverse, Three of Wands upright, Queen of Swords in reverse, Two of Wands reverse, and then that Lover's card. So you're going to get some news or information about something that's being eliminated or something that's being taken away. Now, this is not necessarily a bad card, and I say that because he's showing up for us in the upright position. Page of Swords is about news, information. Pages usually are. Sometimes they relate to children or youthful energy. But in the context of how we're reading this here, I'm seeing this as you're going to get some news about something being ended, something being cut off, something being taken away. Now, I'm really feeling like this is something work related in the sense that it creates an opportunity. So let's say, not that I want anybody to lose their job, but let's say layoffs are happening. This creates an opportunity for you to kind of either advance in your current position, or maybe you're having the opportunity to now work from home, and that's something you've always wanted to do. Or maybe it's something where you are eliminated in your work. Maybe it's a job you didn't love anyway, and now you kind of have, you're able to collect unemployment or something like that, and now you have the time freedom to really pursue work or a business or a career that you truly love. So again, every time something is eliminated, it's not necessarily bad. Sometimes opportunities come up for us. Next, we have the Four of Wands in reverse. I'm feeling like this is just a continuation of what happens here in that second week of June. Look for, some more maybe building, maybe some more coming together of something. Again, because this is showing up in the reverse position, that tells me that, there's probably going to be some, things that have to be worked out as you move through the project or as you move through the relationship, whatever it may be. But this doesn't mean that things are still not happening and things are not actually being set in place. We also have the Three of Wands here. You're going to be making decisions or making some type of considerations as it relates to your future. Now, this is something I think that everybody is going to be going through, but for you, Gemini, it's going to be something really heavy on your heart as we move into the second half of June. Just know that you're going to be having to contemplate some serious long-term decisions, and this could be something that affects you in more than one way, not just your work, but this could be some decisions you have to make as it relates to your personal life, excuse me, as it relates to your professional life. Could even, be some decisions that you have to make as it relates to your family, maybe some people you're in relationship with, whatever the case may be, but you're really going to be contemplating that and feeling that heaviness on your heart probably in the second half of June. Now we have the Queen of Swords here. Queen of Swords, she's all about sometimes I'm getting the word meticulously avoidant. And I don't even know if that makes sense, but you're going to be in the position to where you're going to be able to kind of step back from something and maybe avoid something consciously. And it may not be something that you would have chosen for yourself, but the situation or the circumstance as it relates to your work, as it relates to your money, as it relates to your business, is telling you that you really need to kind of step back from something. And you're starting to observe things and see things and make decisions. And so you're starting to feel like, okay, I may need to remove myself or maybe limit my own involvement as it relates to something in my professional life. Two of Wands here. Again, you're going to be making those decisions. Sometimes the Two of Wands reverse shows up when we're thinking about things that happened in the past and we're trying to see if maybe we made a mistake and if we need to fix it. I'm feeling a little bit like Gemini, like maybe you're feeling like, oh, I should have done this, I could have done that. Don't don't feel like you were pressured or that you didn't do the best you could with what you had at the time. I think that's the underlying message I'm getting here, is that you did the best you could with what you knew, with what you had. And so just trust that you are going to kind of set yourself up on the road to success because you're doing what you can with where you are right now. Next, we have the Lover's card. Like I said, there is something coming together for you. There is some type of a connection. I'm also seeing, like I said, it could literally be a marriage. And it could be too, well, you just kind of have that support. You know, you just kind of have that emotional support from people around you who truly care and who truly want the best for you. But again, I'm feeling like this is a coming together. This is definitely something where things are just starting to kind of build. And I keep getting that. It's like you have the right person with you, or you have the right support team with you, and now you can confidently build and start something new. So what else do we need to know for the sign of Gemini as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of June 2020? What do we need to know for the sign of Gemini? Beautiful. All right, Gemini. As we move towards the end of June, you are going to see and you are going to feel things are going to start coming together for you. Now, just be careful with your finances here. It looks like you're going to have to do a little bit of juggling of the funds. I think we kind of all have kind of been through that, where we're just trying to make sure the bills are paid. You may have to kind of maybe split a payment. Maybe you pay a little bit here, pay a little bit there. You may also have to kind of reevaluate your budget and kind of pay attention to what's going on with your money. The good thing is like this is not something that totally knocks you out or knocks you off your game. It's just about you kind of really paying attention to your spending, and it's also about you making choices to keep yourself afloat, to keep yourself ahead. Okay. We also have the Six of Wands in the reverse here. This tells me that you may be stepping back from something that could be publicly uncomfortable for you. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be a celebrity or in the public eye, but you could maybe make the choice to kind of withdraw from a situation or maybe a position that really puts you out there, and maybe you're just not ready for that right now. Now, this could be something more spiritual, not necessarily something along the professional. I'm getting the word professional tactics. You know, some people don't like to be seen. Some people just like to quietly do their jobs behind the scenes. And I'm feeling like maybe that could be you at this time, Gemini. Maybe there's something that you just kind of want to work on quietly. You don't need, to be the person making all the decisions, calling all the shots. You just kind of want to do what you need to do and do it on your own without any type of interference or extra attention on you. And that's okay. Now, I say spiritual in nature because the next card that shows up is the High Priestess. And this is a very intuitive card. You're very intuitive, Gemini. You need to trust any type of intuitive hits, ideas, signs, messages that come through for you. Trust that because it's definitely leading you in the direction that you need to go. And it's also helping you achieve and accomplish the things that you are trying to accomplish. This is also going to be good for your money. If you have any type of money questions, or if you're trying to decide what you should do with your money, really tap into your intuition and trust it. And know that you are being guided and that you are being protected, okay? But whenever I see this card, this is a very positive card because it tells me that you really need to go within. Now, we also have the Four of Swords here. This could be something where you're also, again, stepping back, maybe going within to meditate, maybe kind of really taking a step back from the whole situation to really reevaluate what it is you want, how you're going to get there, what you need to do, and the timing. Again, we talked about timing and decisions as we move into the second half of June, and you're really going to just kind of reabsorb all the information that's coming to you. You're also going to see that you don't have to do something all the time, that you can allow yourself a moment of pause. You don't have to feel rushed or pressured, or that you have to constantly go, 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 do. You can take your time. And I think by the time we go towards, or by the time we hit the end of June, it's really going to set you up in a good place. We have the Ten of Cups, one of the most positive cards in the deck. This is ultimate happiness, joy, fulfillment. Things are going to be really good for you in June, Gemini. You know, you're going to have a little bit of, maybe some periods of not knowing what to do. Maybe you don't have all the clarity that you need when you think you need it. But if you just kind of trust that throughout June, you're going to be able to do what you need to do, and you're also going to have the support to do it. So June is going to be I want to say it's going to be a very understated month for you, Gemini. Not because powerful things aren't going on, but you're going to feel like maybe nothing's happening, maybe things are just going really, really slow. But at the same time, just know that underneath, the foundations are being set in place. You have the emotional support, you have the connections, you have the power. You're releasing things that just don't work anymore. And you're also contemplating on what's next. And I think that's going to take you very far. All right, Gemini, let's go ahead and close out your reading with a Spirit Animal Oracle card. Again, this is one of my favorite Oracle decks. And I'm glad I'm using it this month. All right, we got Wasp Spirit. And the message is, sometimes life stings. Interesting that came up, because I think that's kind of what I was saying, although I wasn't saying it as directly as the card. But there are going to be some periods where, things may sting a little bit. But again, it's not going to knock you out the game. Because as we can see throughout the month, things start shifting, decisions start being made, you start making connections, and it takes you to a place of happiness and contentment. So, Gemini, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, observations, feel free to drop those down in the comment section below. And if you are interested in connecting with me for a private reading, I will have that information listed in the description as well. All right, Gemini, thank you so much for spending this time with me. We'll do it again next month.